Next to me is the GT4RS. It's a Cayman with a 911 GT3 motor in it. Porsche has finally done it. So the ultimate question, is the Cayman better than the 911? Today we're gonna find out exactly that. In the middle of the Cayman GT4RS sits a 4-liter flat 6, making 493 horsepower and 331 pound-feet of torque. And it revs all the way up to 9,000 RPM. Unlike the 911, which has the engine in the rear, which causes some kind of strange weight distribution, this is in the center of the car. Now, the best part, probably, of the entire Cayman is the fact that these side intakes right here, made from carbon fiber, because this is the WYSOC package, route air inside the cabin itself. So if you come around here, you'll notice, look at this, the carbon fiber intakes go inside the car and there's no glass whatsoever. So basically, all of the induction noise and the engine noise is inside the cabin. And the result is an insane soundtrack. The end result is 0 to 60 in 3.2 seconds, a top speed of 196 miles an hour, but the most impressive fact is the fact that it runs the Nürburgring in 7 minutes and 9 seconds. That's just 12 seconds slower than the 918 Spider, which has double the horsepower and costs nearly 5 times as much. I only have 2 gripes with the GT4RS. The first is the fact that it doesn't come available with a manual transmission. Yes, this looks exactly like a manual, but the only transmission available is the 7-speed PDK. Well, the PDK is incredibly fast. Because this isn't the GT3RS, it isn't the ultimate car for the Nürburgring, I do wish they had that option. Now, my second gripe is the dealer markups. This car starts at $160,000. For $160,000, it's one of the craziest cars in the world. But right when it came out, people were charging upwards of 300 grand. Now they're dropping a bit, we're down to about 250,000, but still, why can't cars sell for MSRP? Looks-wise, the GT4RS is insane. This is the craziest looking Cayman ever made. It's not quite as intense as the GT3RS, but it still looks amazing. Now, the front hood has knock-a-ducks that are actually for brake cooling. It's made of carbon fiber reinforced plastic for weight savings. We've got a massive adjustable front splitter. The nice part is it isn't made from carbon fiber, and it does have an optional front lift, so you don't have to worry about damaging this. Now, coming around to the side, we've got vented fenders to release turbulent airflow in the wheel well. It's lowered 30 millimeters from the standard Cayman. And for the first time ever on a Cayman, we've got center lock wheels. We've also got some beautiful carbon ceramic brakes behind it. And these wheels are actually made of magnesium. Get this, $15,600 for the magnesium wheel option to save 24 pounds of unsprung mass. That is one baller option. To get the ultimate spec Cayman GT4RS, opt for the WYSOC package. It's 15 grand and it'll give you a carbon fiber wing, carbon fiber hood, as well as a titanium exhaust. Obviously, you've got to have the WYSOC embroidery in the interior as well. Speaking of the rear wing, this thing is insane. It's a swan neck design, kind of like the GT3. Not quite as crazy as the 3RS, but it is adjustable. Coming down here, we've got that titanium exhaust that sounds absolutely insane. You know, I've never been a huge fan of the Cayman rear end, but because of this wing, it's really starting to grow on me. The interior of the 4RS is completely focused on the driving experience. We've got those carbon fiber bucket seats that hold you in place incredibly well. No buttons whatsoever on the steering wheel, so you can focus on what's ahead of you. We've got an analog instrument cluster, tachometer, and speedo, which I absolutely love. Carbon fiber everywhere, and a shifter that looks like it's a manual transmission. Look at the doors. To save weight, we don't have door handles. We simply have these straps. And if you look inside, my favorite part of the car is right behind your head is the engine. All right, let's take it for a spin. All right, guys, behind the wheel of the GT4RS now. And this thing sounds absolutely insane. This is one of the best sounding cars in the world, bar none. My God. You know, the first time I drove this car, I didn't have the greatest experience because I was limited on miles. And I mentioned that in the review. And this awesome subscriber and now friend, Chris, said, why don't you come to Thermal and drive my car? So here we are at the Thermal Club, lapping the track. is this just such a good car. It's so well balanced. The brakes don't fade even though it's hot out. The tires, the Cup 2s have so much grip. It really is the perfect track car. And you know, in today's day and age, with cars having 500, 600, 700 horsepower, nothing about this experience makes me wish it had more power. This is just ridiculous. Those intakes feeding into the cabin, the most intoxicating induction noise in the world, and the steering feel and confidence this car gives you is just ridiculous. And for a road car, the braking ability is just ridiculous. My God. All right, I'm gonna be quiet for a second once we get around this turn, so you can just hear the 4RS without any of my BS talking, because it truly doesn't get better than this. You don't need a V12, a flat 6 is really all you need for an incredible soundtrack. All right, here we go. Predictable in this car, from the braking to the steering to the acceleration. Porsche has just created an absolute masterpiece. And I can't wait to finally get behind the wheel of the new GT3RS, because this is every bit as good, if not better, than the last gen GT3RS, and I truly mean that. And that's a lot to say about a Cayman. In general, I've never been the biggest Cayman fan, honestly. They just felt like dumbed down 911s, but with that engine in the middle instead of in the back, it's got the perfect weight distribution. And now that it has a 911 motor, this thing is just an absolute beast. 493 horsepower, 332 pound-feet of torque, but that 9,000 RPM red line just keeps pulling. Oh, I'm in love. I really need one of these. They're actually starting to come down in price too. At first they were ridiculously over sticker price, but now they're starting to settle. And this is just one hell of a car. £3,200, but it feels lighter. Buckets hold you in place so well, you almost don't even need a racing harness on the track. I mean, I'm not moving at all in the seat. Oh. I haven't had this much fun on the track in a long time. Literally here at Thermal, nobody else is on the track right now. It's like a personal track. Enjoyed today's review. Like always, please browse the channel and subscribe. I'll let you listen to this thing